Welcome everyone to the new line of sight update for War Thunder. I'm Aussie VR, and today we're going to be looking at every vehicle that's in the game that has been added. Now, note of discretion, I do not have everything unlocked. So if you see any vehicles that I will be showing that are covered in red and I do not have, I'm going to be skipping over them because I do not have them. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off, we're going to be in the American tech tree with the new M10 Boxer or Booker, whatever the freaking thing is called. We get a 105 M35 cannon with a total ammo count of 30. If we go into the X-ray modifu, we can see that our ace reload is 5 seconds, with our first stage ammo storage is 30, meaning we can take a full rack and we would have our blowout panels. I suppose the bad news is with this is we're definitely going to get shot in the turret and have our panels blow up, which is not good. If we circle around to the engine, we can see that we have 722 horsepower at 2300 RPM. Now, I am no mechanic or anything else. I'm guessing that's pretty fast. But our top speed is at 64 kilometers and our reverse speed at 40. Now, 40 is pretty decent. I will not lie. It's not as good as say MBT's going. I believe is similar actually. Actually, I'm pretty sure the Abrams goes slightly faster in reverse. Is it just me? Am I crazy? Oh wow, it's about a K less. Wow, Jesus, what a what a wake up call. Anyway, so you're slightly faster than the Abrams in reverse, but not by much. If we have a look at our armor, it is thin, paper thin, 30mm and 20mm autocannons from SPAs, and light tanks will peel through you like knife, like like shearing sheep. If we take an example, the let's take the let's take the Puma for an example. Where is the Puma? There it is. A that's not it. There we go. Let's go 500 meters. At certain spots, it's actually going to go through. I honestly thought that this 30 mil would go through. Maybe I'm just angled wrong. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to go through. Look at that. Yeah. So your turret protection is non-existent at all. That is pretty bad, and it did go through. So obviously you can survive maybe one or two direct shots if you're lucky, I guess, with the odd maybe ricochet or non-penetration, but your armor is pretty fucking weak. It is non-existent. If we take a look at the BMP2, if I can, not that, not that, BMP2, that'll do. If we go to its fin stabilized round, oh, it's about the same. Interesting. Oh, it doesn't go through though. Hang on. We might have an outlier. Same for the slight little gap. Okay. So you are protected by the BMP 30 mil, but not completely. There is a slight gap. Once this is over, if I zoom in, there is a slight gap right there that the 30 mil can go through. Let's have a look. Oh, can't. Wow. I just noticed the gap. Ah, so it has to hit this rivet point to go through. Even that didn't go through. What the fuck? Hey, through you little pile of dog. There we go. But yeah, your turret armor is going to be a bit, I guess, protected against a BMP, but I mean, if it's going to auto-fire you, you're probably not going to survive much anyway. Your lower glaciers against this is going to be pretty good, but there is a bit of a green spot, but I suppose people are just going to aim here and shot. Yeah. Anyway, so your armor's non-existent. Very non-existent for that matter. For 10.7, I will say that this thing is going to be okay. I don't think it's going to be any better than, say, the HSTPL, which is way over BR'd in my opinion. I mean, the round doesn't do that much damage, so move this thing down to 11.7. That'll make it better. But hey, that's just my opinion. Is that it for all the American vehicles? I forgot some aircraft. Now, I am not an aircraft enthusiast, so I will not be covering the aircraft. So if you want to have a look at it over yourself, so be it. I'm not an aircraft enthusiast. Nor am I a naval person, but I have played a heap of naval. I stopped playing it because, well, no one plays it. But we got a new battleship, the USS Dakota. South Dakota, sorry. But if we move over to Germany, because there's no new patrolled boats here, we do get one vehicle in Germany, and that is the Jaeger 2. Now, I know nothing about this vehicle in real life, and most of these vehicles I don't know, but if we hover over, we do get some pretty decent variety. We've got a standard tandem warhead, which does an exact penetration of 800 and equivalent of 4.41 kilograms worth of TNT. That is pretty good. Now, do not mind the angle of penetration. This is not going to matter because it's a tandem warhead. Most top tier vehicles at this BR rating, or actually, no, it's 9.0. And you get a tandem warhead at 9.0. Oh, oh my. So yeah, I'm right. You will not need to worry about the angle penetration at all. Wow, that is very shocking. This one, oh no, this one. So this one's not a tandem. It's just normal. Okay, so this one's a tandem warhead. Same things, but wow, that is a massive difference. Wow. You know what? Take it as you will. And we get a TOW2B. You're not going to be using this. Fuck TOW2Bs. They suck. And I am not kidding. Are they better than, say, fucking spike missiles? Yes. But they still suck. Anyway. So obviously, whoops, I was meant to show the armor and speed. My bad. And considering that this is a Jaeger, this is not gonna survive shit. It's basically the same one as the Rackpanzer here to Hot. It's basically the same chassis, just slightly better armor, not by much, but still pretty weak. Still gonna get penned by a lot of things. I'm assuming actually the BMP2, if I grab that, is gonna go right through it. If I can find it. No BMP2 in this beyond. What the fuck? Oh no, there is. I'm just bloody blind. APDS at 500. Yeah, as you can see, it's gonna go right through you. Hot knife through butter. Now, crew. Very, very compact. What the? Oh, that's the Oh wow, that's really modeled. Wow. Anyway, and you get what is that? 16, 14 rockets. Not bad. Not bad. Gunner is really exposed, so do expect your person to get shot a lot. You don't get a 50 cal, but on the M10 box, I forgot to mention you do. And Commander's optics doesn't tell me on its zoom level. Interesting. What's the zoom level? Not bad. Anyway, now I can't test drive this, but I would show this anyway because it's pretty cool. I actually like the look of this. You can actually see this in here. That is really nice, and I really like it. It's really cool. Anyway, I would be interested to actually go get this vehicle for myself, actually, and have a little fun with it. Now, that's it for Germany. No new vehicles other than that. No new helis. One new plane, I believe. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not covering aircraft. Heck no. I forgot to mention also in America there is a new SPAA. I will not be going over it because I don't have it. And then you get a new Russian jet as well. Let's go to Russia. This is where the best vehicles are in the update, in my opinion, and that is the BMPT. I'm not going to look at the Touring one, but we're going to have a look at this one. So, this thing looks fucking fabulous, and I am saying that literally. Your armor is typical of a T-72, but your Glacis is still going to be your biggest weak spot. And I'm assuming this is going to be a weak spot as well. But from what I have seen from the dev server and from other content creators, is you're still prone to getting overpressured just past this part here. So do be careful of HE slingers like the Panzer Haubitz 2000. So if we have a look, we do get the spore liners, which is fucking amazing. And we get, what is it, 6 missiles total? No, 4 total. Really? Ah, yeah, only 4. My silly, stupid thing. Anyway, and we get 2 30mm cannons. Do note, if you take this for a test drive, you will not be able to fire both guns simultaneously. You can only fire one at one time, which is kind of unfortunate. I was actually hoping to fire both guns simultaneously, but hey, it is what it is. Engine power for a T-72 is pretty decent at 1,000 horsepower, running at 2,000 RPM. That's pretty decent. You're going to be pretty fast. Your max speed is 60 kilometers an hour. That's pretty good. And then, obviously, as this is typical for most Russian vehicles, is you have no reverse gear at all at 4.2 kilometers an hour. That is pitiful. Now, if we double back to the Jaeger, I believe its top speed is going to be around the 55, 60 kilometer mark. Just double check. 70. Wow, I was not too far off, actually. 70 kilometers an hour at, what was it, reverse speed? Oh, fast is what it can go forward. That's pretty good. I should be taking these slow, but anyway. So, moving on to Britain. We get the Ajax. Now, I am not a fan of the look of this vehicle. It looks pretty ugly, I am not going to lie. But it sets at a battle rating of 10.3. Now, if we go to the X-ray, as you can see, this is what it looks like from the inside. Pretty compact, meaning you're going to get spammed a lot. Armor, not the greatest. You've got a decent turret, and the crew do set. Oh, I thought the crew set pretty low, but no, they set pretty high, and that's where your ammo is. Ooh, yeah, you're going to die a lot. But if we look at the ammo, as you can see, is we don't get too much. We get a stock APFSDS round for 10.3. That is, thank fuck for that. But let's have a look at the penetrate. Oh, 156. That's at 100 meters. And 131 and 90 at 30 and 60. Oh. Oof. That's pretty bad. But we get 2 proxy shells. Time fuse, and then this one. I think a lot of people are going to use 190.44 K. Whoa, holy Jesus, that is a lot of HE. Gee, Jesus. Pardon me. And then we get a normal HE round, which is also the same. Wow, okay. That is shocking. Anyway. Wow. That is really shocking. 35 and 70 k's forward and backwards. Not bad, not bad. 722 at 2300 RPM. I suppose that's okay. I'm not sure because I don't own the freaking vehicle. So, anyway. In Japan, we do get one new vehicle, if I can find it. There it is. Actually, we also get, most of these nations do get a new SPAA, but I'm not going to be covering them. This is the Type 61B. At an ace reload, we get 7.5 seconds, and yeah. Unfortunately, if we have a look at the turret traverse, as I was test driving this morning, is we've got a pretty slow turret traverse. I forgot to mention that on the BMPT as well. Most Russian vehicles do not have a great horizontal traverse. They do get a decent elevation, but that's about it. But this is basically pretty bad. This is, yeah, not great. So, yeah. Anyway, but you do get a 90mm cannon with M82, which does a lot of fucking damage. I mean, look at that. 137.2 grams worth of TNT. That is fucking nuts. At 183, yes, that is pretty low pen. At 30 and 60 degrees, you gotta be aiming for your weak spots. But, I mean, with basically the explosive mass of a 140, you're going to be overpressuring shit a lot. So, and you also get a heat shell, HE, and a smoke round. Don't take the smoke round. This thing already gets some smoke launches. Does it? No, it doesn't get smoke launches. I thought it did. There you go. But yeah, this is a pretty fast little vehicle. It's about 50 Ks and 8.9 Ks in reverse. It's better than a Russian vehicle going backwards, but it's not the greatest in forward. 1240 horsepower at 2100 RPM. That's not the greatest, I'm assuming, or good. I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments below. But yeah, that's about it. Your armor is non-existent. I'm not going to cover it because I have a Type 61 on my Xbox, and I will tell you from experience, this thing is paper. Anything is going to go fucking through you. Everything will. Even a low tier 25mm milk truck will go through you. And that's about it besides an SPAA. Moving on to China, we get two new vehicles, but we get this one, an M1A2T. I'm not sure what the T stands for, but it's a typical M1A2. It doesn't get the package of extra ERA, but it's just an Abrams with a very nice ace reload of 5 seconds. And obviously, it's an Abrams. Simple as that. It's a fucking Abrams in China. Now, if I had to go off and say the T is probably standing for Taiwan, I'm assuming. I could be wrong, but that's just my assumption. Moving on to Hungary, we have one new vehicle. There it is, the Frickia OWS 30. If you've played Italy, you will know the Frickia usually has a, pardon me, 25mm KDA BO2 cannon, firing a PDS at it as its top belt. This one gets a PDS stock. Thank fuck. Meaning you don't have to deal with awful fucking AP rounds, but you do get a decent amount of HE in the HE shell. That's actually pretty good. Wow. Explosive mass, 32 grams. Not bad. And then you get LK258. Pardon me. 113. You know what? That's not terrible, but that's still pretty bad in comparison for his BR of 10.7. 86. Yeah, your dart round's going to be far better than anything else. But if we have a look at the armor, it's a typical Frickia. Has no armor whatsoever. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in, you. Thank you. Armor. Yeah, paper thin. No fucking armor whatsoever. You are paper mache to 30 mils in autocannons. Now, thankfully, you are setting pretty low, so you're not going to get whacked too oftenly, but you still have the exposed ammo right here. So if you want to kill it, aim here, or aim just next to the engine block. Actually, no, the engine actually covers most of it. Wow. 486 at 2300. That is pretty slow, but its transmission is okay. Max speed 110 kilometers with a max reverse speed of 22.5 Ks. That is, in comparison, pretty slow to a normal light tank, but still better than a Russian vehicle. Simple as that. But that's about it. We don't get anything new here, which is a bit unfortunate, but I will be getting this as it is a Frekia. It's not my most favorite, but I much prefer my VBC or the Dardo. Moving on to France. We have nothing. Fuck all besides a fucking plane. Thanks, Gaijin. And if you play naval, you've got a few new boats. So, not a few. I think one new cruiser or something. You get the point. In Sweden, we have, well, just an SPAA. That's it. In Israel, we get the Merkava 1. Not gonna fucking lie, I honestly thought when Israel came out, I think 2 years ago, they actually gave us the Merkava 1, but no, it was the Merkava 1B. I forgot. Whoops. Now, if you don't know, your armor is decent, can be trolly, but don't rely on it. It is paper thin. Look at that turret. It is thin as hell. A bit trolly, but that's about it. Your engine's going to get shot at a heap. Now, if you're an American player, you might notice, if you're new, there's something called the Marketplace on PC. Now, I don't have access to that because I'm on PlayStation. But originally, way before Israel got added, there was an event to have the Merkava in America. Now, I'm not too sure whether either one are the same, but I'm going to assume so. So if you already have the Merkava 1 in America, this is not going to be any different. It already gets what is it, M22, M111 as your top shell, 1455 meters per second and 336 at pen. For 9.3, this is not the best, but it is going to get the job done. At 336, 284, and 194 at 30 and 60, especially for 284, 194, it's going to perform a lot worse than you would assume. Aim for weak spots if you can. If you can't, you're probably going to lose your crap pretty quick. But that's about it for every vehicle. I don't cover the SPAAs because I'm not an SPAA player specifically, so I don't really care for it. But that's about it for every vehicle. Besides, nothing new. Overall, I think this is going to be a pretty interesting update. I might actually, in the future, go get the M10 first, because I am very fucking curious on how this is going to perform at its BR, especially at 10.7, where we've got the M1 and the live ad, which I still need to get, and other things as well. So it's going to be interesting. You can also combine this with 120S, which is disgusting. I hate this vehicle. This vehicle's an M60 with an Abrams turret. Freaking hate it. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, as mentioned. I am Aussie VR. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below and tell me what vehicle you're most interested in. For me, as mentioned, it's going to be the M10 Booker or Booker, whatever the fuck it's called. And I'll see you guys on the other side of reality. Bye-bye.